Fresh in the morning, eye-opening and balanced. The DBS Morning News starts right now.
A social worker says mental health at the workplace needs to be given priority. The Jamaican economy to decline 2.1% in the third quarter, and we are monitoring Hurricane Milton as the damage begins to be seen, and Hurricane Milton passes into the Atlantic Ocean. Welcome to the DBS Major Morning News. It is Thursday, the 10th of October 2024. We have the details of these and other stories coming up.
The range of Kin juices are 100% natural with no added sugar. Kin offers a range of refreshing juices which are enriched with vitamin C and no added preservatives. Delight yourself in one of Kin's nectars or treat your little ones with a Kinita box drink at a refreshingly low price today. Kin, the juice in our lives. Sold at major supermarkets island-wide. Distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
DBS News.
Welcome back. My name is Joseph Fadul, your presenter. First up this morning, a social worker at the Acute Psychiatric Unit, Dave Loda, says mental health at the workplace needs to be given priority. Dominica joins the rest of the world in observance of World Mental Health Day today.
We aim at rekindling our efforts to promote global citizenship and mental health awareness by making our workplaces a healthier place. For us who work, for persons who work, which is 60% of the global population working, much of our time is spent at the workplace. So once this is a fact, is an established fact, it means that there are so many things within the work environment that we need to be cognizant of, to bear in mind, be aware of the risk factors, because these things can either make or break us. We want to focus on the importance of mental health in the workplace, the principle that mental health and work are closely linked. Mental health is everybody's business. Workers face risk to mental health. Government action and collaboration are essential. Depression and anxiety alone result in the loss of approximately 12 billion workdays each year. Stigma creates barrier to employment. All of these are some key principles that underscores the importance of paying attention to mental health in the workplace.
Social worker at the Acute Psychiatric Unit, Dave Loda. A call for medical practitioners to speak out on the impact of CNCDs on the population in the Caribbean has been made. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit told the opening ceremony of the 10th OECS Council of Ministers of Health and the 37th Pooled Procurement Services Board meeting at Portsmouth that doctors and nurses now need to educate the public on the growing health emergency.
So doctors and nurses, this is your call to action. The ministers of health can deliberate, they can set the policies, they can put aside the resources, but if we are not speaking, if we're not educating, if we're not informing, If we're not sensitizing, we'll have a problem. We do have a problem. We can no longer be consumers of information. We have to be producers of information. The society needs education. And because so many of us have access to the internet and we go and we consult the internet for medical advice. But your work now is much more difficult than it was 20 years ago. And this is why it requires us to be even more proactive and active in that fight. If we do not watch it, we may not have pilots to fly planes anymore in the Caribbean. We may not have teachers in schools. When you call the police, they will tell you that the officer is at the hospital. He got a stroke, God forbid. The doctors themselves, they may become patients and nobody to care for them. And then when we send our children to school, the principal will call us and tell us, come get the child from school because the teacher is on sick leave. I'm not usually wrong, but I'm hoping I'm wrong on this one. We have to really take action on this. But unless we address those fundamentals, we'll be spinning top and mud.
Prime Minister Roosevelt scared. Over 300,000 cruise passengers are expected to arrive in Dominica for the 2024-2025 cruise season, while a plaque exchange ceremony was held on board the first ship of the season, which was the Celebrity Summit on Wednesday. Director of Tourism and CEO of the Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams, says 12 cruise ships will make their inaugural calls to the island for the season.
This year, we anticipate 235 cruise calls, an 11% increase from last year's 212 vessels. Even more remarkable is our expectation of hosting approximately 375,000 passengers, a significant 22% rise from last season's 306,601 visitors. These numbers reflect the growing trust and enthusiasm that cruise lines have for our beautiful island as a premier destination. Last season, 234,618 passengers disembarked in Dominica, with 131,264 engaging in tours showing our stunning scenery and rich culture. With this year's increase in cruise calls and passenger arrivals, we are poised for even greater engagement and exploration. We are particularly excited to announce that 12 ships, including those like Bella, Explorer, Sapphire Princess, Majestic Princess, Resilient Lady, will make their inaugural visits to our shores.
Director of Tourism and CEO of the Discover Dominica Authority, Marva Williams. President of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Mervyn Alexander, has told teachers to be careful before they seek employment abroad. Mr. Alexander says there are reports of teachers showing interest in leaving the island for more lucrative teaching opportunities.
Let me also caution teachers as well, too, because I know many teachers don't think we know what is happening. We are aware that many teachers have applied in other countries for jobs. Yes, we know that, because we have our links in the region. As a teachers union, we have links in the region, so we talk to each other. So in the region, we know many teachers from Dominica are applying for jobs overseas. No wrong, no harm. Please note that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Please, I caution you about that. The grass is not always greener on the other side. So be very, very careful when you're making the decision to move. Because when I think of the rent and the cost of living, we cry in Dominica, yes, we always high, yes, but we are privileged in a sense as well, to my dear people. Don't fool ourselves about that. So we are not that badly off, in a sense. We need more money, yes. I'm not saying we need more money, yes, because people need to value our profession better. Also, I want to also caution us as teachers, be very careful what we say. The tongue is a very powerful and valuable weapon, but it is also a very dangerous weapon. So teachers, when you say things, be very careful what you see, because you might be shooting yourself in the foot. So be very careful what you utter as a teacher. That's all I will say on that level.
Mr. Alexander has also called on policymakers to consult teachers on education matters. He made reference to the JSP program which existed in Dominica.
I recall clearly when the JSP program was being phased out, many teachers were saying, no, don't cut off that program. Just extend it to make it a 5-year program instead. It was cut off, and everybody went to mainstream secondary school. Now, those of us who taught JSP knew the value of that program. I taught in that program, so I know what I'm talking about. I taught in that program when we were at the old Goodwill School, what they call Goodwill Junior High School. And I remember, I am not an agriculturist, but we had agriculture. And all the stones and the rocks in Goodwill, we had an excellent garden at the back of the school. That's JSP. If we really were to probably conduct a survey or do some sort of thing, we would see that there were not many dropouts when we had JSP in schools, as we have now in our mainstream secondary schools. So I think if the officials at the time had listened to our teachers, I think our education would be better off now. So I am really calling on the policymakers to please, teachers are important. They are the ones on the ground. Listen to them, speak to them a little bit, so we can get things going more and more.
And that was President of the Dominica Association of Teachers, Mervyn Alexander. Well, as the 2024-2025 cruise ship season opens, we shine the light on local vendors and tour operators. The 2024-2025 cruise season officially opened yesterday. Vendors, taxi operators, hair braiders, and tour operators came out in their numbers to welcome visitors.
So my name is Reynold Alcindor, the Vice President of Combine Taxi Inc. As you can see, behind my back is the Celebrity Summit. It is the first ship for the 2024-2025 season. I must say that everybody is of high spirit. We've waited for 5.5, 6 months, and so here it is that the first one is in port today. And so we did all what we had to do. We ensured that the buses was in good shape, ready to move the tours. And so yes, a lot of buses went out. And so everybody is elated, everybody is happy, and we're looking forward for only good things to come for the entire season. I urge the taxi drivers, the stakeholders, the tour guides, the vendors, everybody to do their best, put their best foot forward. Let's do all what we have to do so that we can get the cruise lines coming in here, because the more cruise lines that come here, more people that disembark the ships, is more money in our pocket. And so everybody has their commitment, their family to take care of, and so let's keep the industry strong and healthy. We must not do what is not right to jeopardize the industry.
Well, it's the first day, so actually it will pick up. But that boat is not a fast boat, it's very slow. But apart from that, things are moving on. Yes, because that one have how many calls? I think 5 calls. But slowly and surely, things will pick up.
I'm better known as Bandulu. I'm Wilfred Bruno. We do drumming, all kind of drumming. Tumbla, Kalaja, Minde, Lewos, quadrille. My expectation, I already see the season looking bright, Bayfront looking well, and the flowers looking very beautiful. And I can see the development taking over. And I can see Dominica shine. This year, Dominica gonna shine the best.
Seeing how it is now, like as if this is just like last season, it started just like last season. I don't know what happening to tourism now. Because we're really not doing like substance that we can go home and do something. As well as season, I never get. It's $3, $5, that is what I was doing at my home. I have my children and things like that. Here I sit down. I can remember in the years gone by. This again me 24 years since I I went in. And how many years? It was better.
Well, I'm expecting the season to be a good one. As usual, we always expect good, but sometimes it doesn't always turn out the way we expect it. But I'm hoping we are almost to the end of 2024. So I know Summit has always been a very good boat for me from since I have been into tourism. So I'm expecting to make some good cash.
Local vendors and tour operators. Let's move to news from the region where the Jamaican economy is expected to decline by 2.1% in the third quarter of the calendar year as a result of the economic dislocation caused by Hurricane Beryl and low tourism. Well, these developments represent a significant growth shock which is expected to result in a contraction of 0.2% for the fiscal year 2024-2025, down from the initially expected expansion of 1.8%. And these were the words from the Finance Minister, Dr. Nigel Clark. He was speaking in the House of Representatives where he presented the first supplementary estimates for the 2024-2025 fiscal year of Jamaica. Let's move to news on the international scene, where we can tell you that Florida authorities began assessing the damage left by Hurricane Milton's passage across the state this morning as the storm passed into the Atlantic Ocean after a night of high winds, torrential rains, and storm surges. Well, Milton made landfall on Florida's Gulf Coast late Wednesday. As a Category 3 hurricane, it came ashore with winds of 100 miles per hour and spawned zones of tornadoes. As of early Thursday, more than 3 million Florida Energy customers were without power, according to poweroutage.us. Tornadoes on Florida's Gulf Coast proved deadly. More than 3 million homes have been affected and a number of deaths have been reported. Let's take a recap of this morning's headlines. A social worker says mental health at the workplace needs to be given priority. The Jamaican economy to decline by 2.1% in the third quarter, and Hurricane Milton damage assessment begins as the hurricane passes into the Atlantic Ocean. The best of sports comes up next. Stay tuned.
The range of Kin juices are 100% natural with no added sugar. Kin offers a range of refreshing juices which are enriched with vitamin C and no added preservatives. Delight yourself in one of Kin's nectars or treat your little ones with a Kinita box drink at a refreshingly low price today. Kin, the juice in our lives. Sold at major supermarkets island-wide. Distributed by Fine Foods Inc.
Since 1910, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited has proudly served Dominica, offering a wide variety of products and services in shipping, logistics, insurance, travel, retail, and wholesale. We are committed to serve you. Contact us today at 767-255-1100 or visit us at our main office on Old Street, Roseau. From humble beginnings to proud achievements, HHV Whitchurch and Company Limited.
Petro Caribe. Tank installation is part of our mission. Excellent client support is what we got. Contribution to development of Dominica. Supply of LPG at an affordable rate. Let's go. Petro Caribe straight. No time to waste. So come on everyone with me to Petro Caribe. 250 gallon propane tank. 420 pound propane tank. 100 pound LPG cylinder. Petro Caribe. 20 pound fiberglass cylinder. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe. Petro Caribe.
Covering the nation and beyond. DBS Sports Report.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fenced pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speedy delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch online, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Welcome to the DBS Major Morning Sports. Well, records tumbled in Pakistan this morning as England have put themselves in a very good position against Pakistan in the first test. England became the first team to score 800 runs in an innings against Pakistan as they racked up a total of 823 for 7. Joe Root and Harry Brooks set a record partnership of 454 for England. Brooke also recorded the 5th highest total for an English batter, hitting 317. Joe Root scored 262. That should have been Brooks, setting the 5th total highest record. Scores so far in the test: Pakistan 556 and 64 for 5. England 823 for 7 declared. Pakistan are trailing by 203 runs. We'll bring you some more details in the fourth day, on the fourth day's play in another Sportscast. Let's go to some football news right now. What we can tell you, head coach of the Petro Caribe Point Michel football team, Herskel Gregoire, is hoping his team can put together a decent run to avoid being relegation in the DFA Premier League. Point Michel is sitting in 9th place on the points table, just 1 point in front of Baffin State FC in the battle to avoid relegation. Point Michel will take to the field tonight in a crucial match against struggling Sagicor Southeast team.
Yes, Gavin, I like how you said it, crucial, but to me crucial is an understatement when it comes to that game we have tomorrow there. Right now, as I see it, is we need to win at all costs. As we know, it's always a battle going up against Southeast, whether they're in poor form or not. It's always a struggle. And thinking of our loss over the weekend was a tough one as well. It's a very tough pin to swallow, especially as we were in it for most of the game. And then we just slipped up towards the end. We didn't capitalize on our chances we got, and that cost us the game.
You're going to be missing your captain, team leader, Marcus Bredas, who is out on national duties with the senior men's national football team. How much of a loss is that for you guys? And, how would you make up for his loss of leadership on the field?
Yeah, I'm really glad you made mention of our captain will be missing tomorrow in that game. Once the national team is out on national duty, the local league should be suspended until the return of the team. I mean, I'm subject to correction, but to my knowledge, that's how I know it. So not having him tomorrow is a very crucial thing for us. He's a player, you asked about replacing him. To me, I feel he's an irreplaceable player. He's not the kind of player you can just get somebody to fill in the blanks. Like you said, he has been our team leader for the entire season. For a matter of fact, from the past couple of seasons, He has been our best player on the team. And without him tomorrow, it's going to be very costly.
Head coach of the Petro Caribe Point Michel football team, Herskel Gregoire. Well, earlier this week, the DFA announced that matches will continue in the Premier League during the international break and that clubs with less than 3 players on the national team would have to continue playing. Meantime, Point Michel sits in 9th place on 12 points, while Bath State are 10th on 11 points. Point Michel, however, has a game in hand. Point Michel will battle Southeast at 6:30 tonight at the DFA Technical Center. Staying with some football news, the DFA president, Glenn Etienne, says the 2024 football season has been challenging. He says a number of factors have hampered the smooth running of the various leagues. He says a decision may be taken soon on the future of the Under-20 Boys League.
Our league is ongoing. We have a number of leagues going on. The Premier Men team is going on. The Women's League is also going on, senior women. We also have the Under-20, which we had to put a little halt on because when we look at the data, it looks like most of the teams, they do not have the volume of Under-20 players that we were expecting. But we look at how we craft it for the next season. We also have the Under-15 League, which is ongoing. We have run into overtime, and that is, well, because we had some issues with the weather, we had some other traveling logistics when senior men team has traveled that we decided to shelve some game. So some of these things set us back. But we have put some policies in place, we have put new plans in place that will guide us in the next season, that we don't run into these hiccups or to these problems in 2025.
DFA President Glenn Etienne. Meantime, the DFA President is hoping the national men's team can return with victories as they meet Bermuda in the CONCACAF Nations League this weekend. Dominica will play its first game on Saturday.
All we need, all we want from them is victory. I mean, the last competition or the last time they participated in the CNL game, which is the CONCACAF Nation League, a few months ago in Antigua, we did a bit okay in the sense that we had a victory and we had a loss. So this time around, we're expecting 2 wins. So that will put us, 9 points in 3 games, and hopefully will get us to League A for the next season. Although there's another leg to come in Dominican Republic. So, but we don't depend on that leg. We want to make sure that we take the opportunity from this leg on to qualify for the next leg. So bring my regards back to the players, bring my sentiment back to them, let them know that the Dominican public is expecting them to have 2 victories in Bermuda.
DFA President Glenn Etienne. The West Indies women's assistant coach Ryan Austin says the team is ready for their next ICC T20 World Cup match with Bangladesh. The Windies ladies will be gunning for their 2nd win in the tournament when they face Bangladesh this morning. That match bowls off at 10 a.m. Caribbean time. The West Indies, after losing to South Africa in their opening match, bounced back to beat Scotland in their 2nd game.
The team is pretty prepared. We obviously know that Bangladesh is basically a spin-based unit, so we already know all these things. But with our philosophy is now we more focus on what we can control. But having said that, we still have that element of power with our batting that that could counter the spin as well.
What are the key areas that you're looking to exploit, particularly having assessed Bangladesh as a team?
I would say that we are banking on our power as well. If you look at the wicket, they're playing pretty slow at the moment. South Africa today actually had a good total on the wicket, and if you watch how they batted, they actually use their feet a lot to the spin. So we are looking to obviously go into the game with that sort of temperament mindset with respects to their spin bowling attack as well.
Well, Austin is backing Captain Haley Matthews to be among the runs. Matthew, the team's number one batter, hasn't had a big score yet in the tournament.
Having said that, Haley hasn't scored any runs as yet. So I am pretty sure she's hungry. So I'm Bangladesh and England better watch out because she's coming. Yeah, they are going to be key, but we also have some players like Chanel Henry, who is really hitting the ball really hard, and her confidence has grown from the last game, after getting player of the match. So, she's been hitting it pretty well, and there's also Leah Aline who can hit it as well. And from the top, you can see that Kiana Joseph is coming well. So with those big three that I called, the other girls are really stepping up and stepping into line, which is a positive for us.
West Indies women's assistant coach Ryan Austin taking us to the end of the DBS Major Morning News and Sports for this morning. We have an update at 11, and of course our next major package will be at 1:15. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. On behalf of the entire news and sports department and our links person Hazari and Ironi Williams, my name is Joseph Fadul, wishing you an awesome Almost Friday.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, Portland and tile cement, steel rods, galvanized and fence pipe. And Rudolph Thomas can meet all your wire needs. Galvanized roofing sheets, doors, windows, toilet sets, face basins and bidets. PVC piping, fittings and lattice. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. And Rudolph Thomas is your one-stop shop for hard-to-find items like fiberglass mat and fiberglass resin and welding rods. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
One easy loan.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
To upgrade my phone and even my home with one simple loan.
More money.
To have your wedding, to go traveling, to do anything.
More money.
No security. Speedy delivery, just check NBT. Apply anytime. In branch online, it's more money time.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
No collateral.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Speedy delivery.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
Just check NBT.
More money with NBT, it's more money.
DBS News. Accurate, up-to-date, professional. We bring you the news of the nation via 3 newscasts, Monday to Saturday at 7 a.m. The DBS Major Morning News, 1:15 p.m. Your lunchtime news bulletin, and at 6 in the evening, the DBS Evening News. Call us at 448-4302. Listen on www.dbcradio.net. Don't forget to like our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/DBS Radio. Stay on top of the nation's news with your nation station, DBS. .35 is the time on your Nature Isle. Of course, you are tuned in to your nation station, DBS Radio. We just brought you your morning's news. Up next, we bring you, or coming up shortly, we bring you your morning's weather report. Just before we do so, we'd like to remind you of your Kananago sentence of the day for today, and that's Kasa Butu Ryan. Kasa Butu Ryan, and that's, what are you doing? What are you doing in Kalinago? Kasa Butu Ryan. Kasa, Kasa Butu, Butu, Ryan, Rayen. What are you doing in Kalinago? Join us tomorrow morning, God willing, at roughly 6:47 for another edition of your Kalinago Word of the Day. Of course, here on your nation station, DBS Radio. Up next, your morning's weather report made possible compliments the good folks of a Big Edge Financial and Flow Dominica Limited.
What's on your back-to-school checklist? Fast, reliable internet, a free Chromebook, a smartphone. With Flow, you can check everything off your list. Sign up for broadband and get 25% off Turbo plus 6 months or free Chromebook while stocks last. And if you need a new phone, our postpaid bundles offer smartphones for just $4. Make back to school easy with Flow. Visit discoverflow.co for details.
At this time, we say a good morning to Keisha Dubeek with this morning's weather report. Good morning.
Good morning. The weather reports from the Dominican Meteorological Service at Douglas Charles Airport for today, Thursday, October 10th, as recorded at 7 a.m. Today's weather is expected to be fair to occasionally cloudy and hazy, with a few showers and a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms during the afternoon. Conditions at Douglas Charles Airport were partly cloudy and hazy. Surface winds westerly at 4 knots or 7 kilometers per hour. Present temperature 25 degrees Celsius or 77 degrees Fahrenheit. Yesterday's rainfall at the Douglas Charles Airport was 3.0 millimeters, and the total rainfall for the month so far is 18.3 millimeters. The sun will set today at 5:48 p.m. and rise tomorrow at 5:56 a.m. The high tides today will be at 10:16 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. and the next low tide will be at 1:16 p.m. The weather outlook for Dominica and the Les Antilles. A rich pattern is expected to be the dominant feature across the area during the period. This, together with a plume of saran dust, is expected to result in a relatively dry atmosphere. An increase in saran dust is expected during the period into the weekend. This is expected to result in a decrease in air quality and visibility. People with respiratory disease are advised to take necessary precautions to avoid complications. Hurricane Leslie, located in the Central Atlantic, continues to be monitored. This system is expected to remain over open water and pose no direct threat to the region. Northeasterly swells are expected to persist along the eastern coastline during the next 48 hours. Slight to moderate seas with swells reaching up to 7 feet are expected. Small craft operators and seabathers along the northern to eastern coast should exercise caution due to onshore breaking wave action. Now for the forecast for today and tonight. Synopsis. A high pressure system is a dominant feature. Forecast for today and tonight. Fair to occasionally cloudy and hazy, with a few showers and a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms during the afternoon. Wind southeasterly to easterly at 10 to 30 kilometers per hour. Sea conditions slight to moderate in open water. Wave speaking 1 to 2 meters or 3 to 7 feet. A high surf advisory is in effect for the northern to eastern coast. Please remember, we are still in hurricane season. For updated information on weather conditions, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call 266-4490 for further information. Like our Facebook page, Dominica Meteorological Service, Follow us on Instagram at Dominica Mets. Follow WhatsApp channel 618-3469. Reporting from the Douglas House Airport, I am Keisha Dubik.
And we thank Keisha Dubik for this morning's weather report, made possible compliments the good folks of Flow Dominica Limited and Big Edge Financial.
You've got the edge over your circumstances. Many times there'll be trials to face, at least when it comes to your waning finances. You've got the edge, help is coming your way. You've got big edge for those days when you're running low. Big edge is the place to go. Big edge, the cash can be in your hand with the easiest payment plan. Cash in a flash.
Make weather information a part of your daily life. Listen to the weather report after the morning news and at 1:10 p.m. daily on DBS Radio. A message from the Dominica Meteorological Service, your trusted source for weather information.
This is DBS Radio.
18 minutes before 8. Up next, we present the general announcements and what's on your community bulletin board, made possible compliments the Central Cooperative Credit Union and Valley Engineering Sales and Services.
Stretch your dollar at Valley Engineering. At Valley Engineering, our customers enjoy our dollar stretching price policy. Save money. Valley dollar stretch prices apply to a wide range of parts, which include water pumps, shock absorbers, steering and suspension parts, clutches, pressure plates, filters, oh yes, oil, gas, and air filters, NGK plugs, ball and roller bearings for wheels and transmission, timing and fan belts, engine gaskets, mechanics tools, brake parts, wiper blades, mud guards, grills, batteries, lubricants, starter and alternator parts, bulbs, head and park lamp, and many, many more items. These dollar stretch prices at Valley Engineering will not shock you. They will only surprise you. Why not visit us today on Goodwill Road or at our relocated Portsmouth outlet on Bay Street? So cut costs and save with Valley Engineering's dollar stretching.
Wasco informs customers at Casgary, La Plaine, Casabruce, Bataka, and Gullet River that their water supply will be interrupted on Friday, October 11, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. for the purpose of carrying out system maintenance. The Wasco regrets any inconvenience which may be caused and thanks customers for their cooperation and understanding. The Wasco informs customers at Grand Fall, Rivière-sur-Rique, and Morne-Jean that their water supply will be interrupted today, Thursday, October 10th, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. for the purpose of carrying out system maintenance. The Wasco regrets any inconvenience which may be caused and thanks customers for their cooperation and understanding. The University of the West Indies and the Division of Culture invites all to the E.O. Leblanc Memorial Lecture today, Thursday, October 10 at 7 p.m. at the UE Auditorium. The theme is Dominica's Language, Kalinago Kweyol Kokoi. This event is free. The Dominica Association of Teachers invites all members to a general meeting to discuss salary negotiation on a Friday, October 11, from 2:30 p.m. at the St. Alphonsus Parish Hall at Goodwell. Teachers, your voice matters.